Hello, my beautiful and magnificent lion souls, and welcome back to Cosmic Wisdom. This is our sacred space, our inner sanctuary, where we journey together into the heart of the cosmos to unlock the radiant truths of your majestic path. Before we begin this powerful journey today, I want to invite you to connect with our beautiful community. In the comments below, I want you to share one thing, just one thing, that makes your heart truly roar with passion. For example, family responsibility or self-affirmation to society. What makes your soul burn and always strive every day? Let's create a cascade of beautiful, fiery energy together. Now come closer, find a quiet space, take a deep, calming breath, and allow my words to wash over you, to speak not just to your ears, but to the very core of your being. Because if you are here, listening to this message right at this very moment, know with absolute certainty that it is a divine appointment. You have been guided here. The universe is calling you to a new reality, a new energetic kingdom where your confidence is understood as self-knowledge, not ego, where your generosity is seen as a true gift, not a transaction, and where your radiant light is not a threat, but a sacred and welcome warmth. If these words are resonating deep within your soul, if you feel that familiar fiery stirring of truth in your chest, I want you to do something for me right now. It is a small, symbolic act of coronation. I want you to gently, intentionally press that like button. Let it be a quiet signal to the cosmos, a declaration that you have heard this call, that you are ready to stop auditioning for a role you were never meant to play. And if you feel so moved, please share this message. There are other lions, other radiant souls who are feeling this same pull, and your act of sharing could be the beacon that guides them home. And of course, if you have not yet joined our pride here at Cosmic Wisdom, please subscribe. We are on this sovereign journey together, and I want to ensure you receive every decree and every insight that is meant for you. Now take a deep, majestic breath. In our next chapter, we will unlock the celestial mechanics that are working in your favor. We will explore why the heavens themselves are conspiring to liberate you, not in the future, not in the past, but right here, right now. There are moments in your life, majestic Leo, when the world seems to pause just for you. A hush falls over the crowd, and in that potent silence, you begin to notice the subtle energies with a newfound clarity. The whispers of others seem to lose their sting. The jealous glances seem to bounce right off your radiant aura. An old wound, a wound to your pride that you thought had left a permanent scar, begins to fade, replaced by a strange and powerful sense of peace. You may have been having the most vivid dreams lately, dreams of standing on a mountaintop bathed in sunlight, dreams of building a magnificent golden city, dreams of a quiet, empty throne that is waiting just for you. These are not the random firings of your subconscious mind, my friend. These are communiques from your higher self. They are previews of the profound energetic realignment that is already in motion. You, Leo, are a creature of fire and light. You don't need the thunder and lightning to know that the atmosphere is changing. You feel it in the very beat of your magnificent heart. And the pressure is indeed changing as the cosmos itself rearranges the stage for your ultimate liberation. Let's speak of the grand cosmic movements that are unfolding just for you. There is a powerful shift occurring, a celestial spotlight that is moving away from the drama of the audience and focusing directly onto the truth of your own heart. Think of it as a solar flare of divine truth being injected into the collective consciousness, a light so brilliant it begins to dissolve the flimsy veils of illusion, especially the illusions that people have clung to about you. Consider all the stories, all the projections, all the false narratives that have been draped over your shining spirit. During this cosmic season, the very energetic foundations of those misunderstandings will begin to disintegrate. It won't be a loud, dramatic explosion, but a quiet, internal crumbling. Those who have misjudged your motives, who have seen your confidence as arrogance, may suddenly find themselves questioning their own cynical assumptions, though they may not even understand why. The gossip will begin to sound hollow and empty, even to those who once spoke it with such conviction. For you, this will feel like the subtle yet glorious lifting of a heavy velvet cloak you didn't even realize you had been wearing. But the true magic, the true climax of this celestial opera arrives when the energy of your self-expression meets the energy of this cosmic truth. Now I want you to imagine this beautiful soul. Imagine the small, shadow-bound voice of gossip trying to compete with the full, undeniable, resonant roar of your authentic truth. There is no contest. The truth that you have held within your heart, the true story of your generous intentions, your fierce loyalty, and your deep capacity for love will begin to radiate from you with an undeniable, self-evident force. This does not mean you must go out and fight old battles or argue your case. Oh no, my dear lion, your time of fighting for validation is over. This is a coronation, not a conflict. This is a victory that will be won in the energetic realms. Your very presence, a presence grounded in self-love and self-acceptance, will become a living refutation of all the old lies. A situation may unfold where your quiet generosity is suddenly brought to light. Someone who has wronged you may be confronted with a circumstance that forces them to see the beautiful truth of your character. The universe is resetting the chessboard not for revenge, but for revelation. And what of your celestial ruler, the magnificent life-giving sun? It is your ultimate guardian throughout this entire process. The sun represents your core identity, your willpower, and your divine spark. As these other cosmic energies shift, your connection to your own inner sun is being amplified. It is reminding you that you are the center of your own universe. It is giving you the courage to remain centered, to not be pulled back into the old drama of seeking approval. Your light is becoming so bright that it is no longer defined by the shadows it casts, but by its own unwavering source. The universe does not want you to continue to shrink or perform. It does not want you to live your life as a court jester, desperately seeking the approval of a fickle king. It wants you to be the sovereign. The words that need to be spoken during this time will not be words of anger or defense, but words of quiet, regal truth. It might be as simple as saying, "My worth is not up for discussion," or "I will no longer participate in conversations that diminish me," or even just a powerful, loving, and unshakable no. This voice that is rising from within you is not just your own. It is the voice of your own inner sovereign, the king or queen of your own heart, who has been waiting patiently for you to claim your throne. It is the roar of every ancestor in your line who was told to be quiet, to be less proud, to not shine so brightly. You are speaking for them. You are healing a lineage of dimmed light. If your heart is beginning to beat a little faster as you hear this, if a feeling of exhilarating, almost terrifying freedom is rising in your chest, I want you to pause. Breathe into it. That is not anxiety, my dear Leo. That is the resonance of your soul, recognizing its long-awaited liberation. It has waited lifetimes for this very moment. But a natural question arises from this. If I am no longer defined by the audience, if I step off this stage of energetic entanglement, then who am I? Where is my kingdom? The next part of our sacred journey will lead you to the answer. It is not a place on a map, but a glorious kingdom within. An inner throne room that has been waiting for you to claim your crown. Have you ever felt most at peace, most yourself, when you could simply bask in your own thoughts, your own passions, your own light, without needing an audience? If so, I want you to share a simple yes in the comments below. Because in doing so, you are not just admitting a preference, you are acknowledging the gateway to your true home. There are souls who can spend their entire lives in a grand palace surrounded by the constant hum of fawning courtiers and still feel utterly and profoundly alone. There are those who can sit at the head of a banquet table laden with the finest foods, surrounded by faces that are supposed to represent adoration and loyalty, and still feel a deep, gnawing hunger for a nameless, authentic connection. If you are a Leo, this feeling is a familiar ghost in your grand hall. It is the silent companion that has been with you your entire life. It is the subtle feeling of being both the star of the show and a lonely observer, watching yourself perform even in your most intimate moments. You have tried so hard to bridge that gap, haven't you? You have learned all the right lines, to say the most charming smiles, to give the perfect moments, to deliver a grand, magnanimous gesture. You have become a master director, producer, and lead actor in the epic drama of social acceptance. Can you feel it? That subtle yet unmistakable shift in the air around you, that quiet, powerful hum beneath the surface of your everyday life. It's a feeling that something grand, something life-altering is on the horizon. As a child of the sun, you are a master of radiance, a connoisseur of energy, and your spirit can sense the first rays of a new dawn long before it breaks across the sky. And I am here to tell you, beautiful Leo, that what you are sensing is profoundly real. The universe itself is preparing to intervene in your life, not with harshness, but with the most loving and powerful grace. Imagine the cosmos as a divine artisan, preparing to reforge your crown, to polish the gem of your heart, until it shines with a light so pure, so authentic, that it can no longer be mistaken for anything but what it truly is. The universe is preparing to perform a sacred coronation, but deep within your eyes, in that warm, fiery, penetrating gaze, the truth of your own sovereignty has always resided. You have always known, this isn't my real kingdom. Not because you are flawed or unlovable. My God, no. It is because your soul vibrates with the frequency of the sun, a frequency of radical authenticity and life-giving warmth, and you have been living in a world that often rewards reflections over true sources of light. Your soul speaks a language of courage, passion, and creative fire, and you have been living in a land that often only understands the polite, curated whispers of conformity. In the most ancient spiritual traditions, there is a concept of a soul family, your true royal court. These are beings connected to you not by duty or social contract, but by a shared frequency of light. They are the ones who see you, the ones who can bask in your bright, silent confidence and not feel intimidated, the ones who are not afraid of your fire because they are tending to their own, the ones who look at your magnificent blaze and see not a destructive inferno, but a beautiful, life-giving hearth. The universe, through this powerful and sacred shift, is not just cutting you off from the judgments of the false audience. It is clearing the path for your true royal court to find you. But there is a profoundly important, non-negotiable first step. You must first build and inhabit the throne room within yourself. You must claim your own inner kingdom. The divine does not want you to exhaust your magnificent life force trying to earn a seat at tables where your soul is not being nourished. It is calling you inward to a majestic inner space where you no longer have to audition for love. A place where your worth is not dependent on your last performance. A place where your intensity is not a flaw to be managed, but your greatest, most life-giving gift. A place where you can finally take off the heavy gilded armor you have worn for so long and just reign. Because you are not arrogant, my dear Leo. You are just exhausted from having to constantly defend your own inherent worth to those who cannot see it. You are not attention-seeking. You are simply protecting your sacred creative fire from those who would try to extinguish it with their casual cynicism. You are not too much. You have just been trying to pour your glorious, life-giving ocean into their tiny, fragile teacups. So just for a moment, I invite you to close your eyes. I truly mean it. Right here, right now. Take a deep, sovereign breath and imagine a space within you, a magnificent throne room. It could be a vast, sun-drenched hall with golden light streaming through colossal windows, a vibrant, lush garden where every flower turns its face towards you, or a powerful beating heart of a star radiating warmth and light from the center of your being. This is your inner kingdom. This is your true home. And in this place, you are completely holy and unconditionally celebrated. You are sovereign. You are honored. You are home. Your real kingdom is where your soul is truly seen. And the golden light you have been desperately searching for in the applause of others has never been out there. It has always been within you, buried beneath the roles you have played, the duties you have assumed, and the misunderstandings you have been forced to endure. You are now being called back. You are being called to your own coronation. And as you learn to dwell in this inner kingdom, you will begin to radiate a new frequency, a frequency of deep, unshakable self-acceptance and quiet, majestic power. This frequency will act as a cosmic beacon, a homing signal calling in other souls, your true royal court, who recognize that light, who speak your language of the heart, and who have been searching for you just as you have been searching for them. But why you? Why Leo? Why have you been given this seemingly lonely, challenging, yet profoundly sacred path of transformation through the fires of judgment and performance? The final part of our journey will reveal the divine mission that is encoded in your very spiritual DNA, a mission that only a soul with your courage, your heart, and your magnificent strength could ever hope to fulfill. If you have always felt like a majestic, beautiful creature from another brighter world, if you have hidden your most radiant truths for fear of being called vain, I want you to leave a little symbol in the comments below, perhaps a crown, a sun, or a lion. Let it be a silent vow to yourself that the performance is over. You are coming home to your throne. Not all souls are born with the same weight of purpose. Some are here to experience the gentle joys of life, to tend to the quiet gardens, and appreciate the moonlight. But other souls like yours, majestic Leo, are born for a grander, more fiery mission. From the moment you took your first breath, you could feel it thrumming in your bones. You were born into a story, a lineage that repeats itself over and over again. It is a story of performance. It is a story of conditional love. It is a story of having to earn your place through grand gestures of being celebrated for your shine, but not for your warmth of being put on a pedestal only to be knocked down by the very people who put you there. You have seen this cycle play out not just in your own life, but in the lives of your parents and their parents before them. It is a karmic legacy, a wound passed down through the bloodline, the curse of being a king or queen in a world that only respects you as long as you are entertaining. And you, my dear Leo, you believed with all your huge and hopeful heart that if you just tried a little harder, if your performance was a little more dazzling, if your generosity was a little more spectacular, if you were just a little more perfect, you could be the one to finally fix it. You could be the one to earn the unconditional love that the entire lineage has been craving. So you became the ultimate showman, the emotional sun for everyone else's solar system, the grand host of every party, pretending that you were fulfilled by the applause, so no one would have to face how empty the praise truly was. But the more you tried to heal this wound from within the dynasty, the deeper you sank into the karmic quicksand. You have been trying to solve a problem using the very energy that created it, the energy of seeking external validation. This is the ultimate blazing truth of your journey, the secret the universe is revealing to you right now. You are not here to perfect the performance for the kingdom. You are here to become the kingdom, and in doing so, render the performance obsolete. You are not just stepping away from the opinions of your family or your social circle. You are performing an act of sacred solar alchemy. You are ending a karmic pattern that no one before you had the spiritual technology to transmute. You are the first in your lineage to have the awareness to stop, to take a deep breath in the center of the stage, and to declare with the full sovereign power of your higher self, the show is over. This need for external applause stops with me. I will not perform for my worth, and I will not pass this burden on. In alchemy, the great work is about turning lead into gold. In your life, the lead is the heavy, exhausting burden of performance, the pain of conditional love, and the fear of the audience's disapproval. The gold is the unshakable self-worth, the profound creative power, and the radiant benevolent leadership you embody when you realize that their applause has absolutely no bearing on the light of your own sun. This is your great work. This is your sacred royal mission. Love without wisdom becomes attachment and performance. You have loved your family, your friends, with all the magnificent dramatic depth of your Leo heart. But if that love requires you to constantly be on, if it requires you to hide your vulnerability behind a dazzling smile, then it is not truly love that you are receiving. It is a beautiful word that masks a silent, energetic prison. The divine is not calling you to cling to relationships and dynamics that are actively draining your life force. It is calling you off the stage. It is ready to lovingly, precisely, and permanently dissolve the heavy chains of misunderstanding, to snip the toxic energetic cords of judgment, and to lift the veil of projection that has for so long clouded the world's perception of your glorious, generous heart. This isn't about escaping the world, my friends. Oh no, this is an ascension. This is a final, majestic liberation from the gilded cage of other people's expectations and the exhausting burden of performing for applause. Are you ready to understand why the very light you shine has so often been misinterpreted? Are you ready to discover that the misunderstandings you have endured are not a punishment, but the sacred catalyst for your most profound and sovereign awakening? If a deep, resonant part of your soul is roaring a resounding yes, then you have found your way home. Not because you are being rejected, but because you are being consecrated. You are being set apart for your own coronation. True love for a Leo should never mean the slow, quiet dimming of your own inner sun. Your decision to energetically detach, to draw your focus back to your own inner kingdom and throne is not an act of rebellion. It is a ritual of sovereignty, and it is a gift not just to yourself, but to your entire lineage, to the grandmother who was shamed for her pride, to the father who hid his creative passions behind a mask of practicality, to every ancestor who was told they were too much. You are not here to fight them or hate them. You are here to look back at their ghosts with love and to say the words, "No one before you dared to even think I forgive you for not seeing your own light. But I will not live in the shadows of your fear any longer." No one in your family has ever done this before. No one has dared to stop the show and simply sit on their own throne, content in their own light. You are the first one to be blessed with enough inner sunlight, provided by your connection to your highest self, to transform the darkness of performance they could only endure. If these words are creating a firestorm in your chest, if a quiet and majestic determination is rising within you, do not doubt it. Do not analyze it. Breathe it in. The moment you decide that your own inner peace and authentic radiance are more important than their fleeting opinions is the moment 1,000 threads of karma turn to golden dust. You are not selfish. You are sovereign. You are not abandoning them. You are freeing them from the burden of having to be your audience. You are doing what no one before you has had the courage to do. You are choosing to become your own sun. If you believe this, if you are ready to claim your sacred mission as the sovereign alchemist of your lineage, I want you to make a vow in the comments below. Write it as a sacred decree to yourself and to the universe. Write, "I am the sun." Write it with intention. Feel the warmth and power of those words, because the universe is always listening, especially when a lion finally lets out its true, authentic roar. My glorious, radiant Leo friends, we have reached the culmination of this chapter of our journey, but it is the dawn of your beautiful, sovereign beginning. I want you to pause for just a moment and truly allow the full, majestic significance of this cosmic moment to sink into your very soul. This is a portal, a golden archway to a new reality, one where you are the sole author of your story, the true and benevolent monarch of your destiny. The celestial energies are all conspiring in your favor, creating the perfect conditions for you to shed the old heavy costume of who you thought you should be, and to step into the glorious, radiant truth of who you have always been. Embrace it all: the challenge, the beauty, the fear, and the ultimate freedom. This is your time to shine your deep magnetic and healing light into the world, completely and utterly, without apology. Your natural strength, your boundless heart, and your unwavering courage are your greatest gifts. As you begin this next chapter, believe in them. Believe in yourself, and know with every fiber of your being that you are supported every single step of the way. Now, it would be my greatest honor to hear from you. What part of this message resonated most deeply within your royal heart? What sacred truths did you recognize in yourself? Please share your insights, your feelings, and your stories in the comments section below. When we share our journeys, we create a powerful pride of light and support for one another, and together we all rise to our thrones. And of course, if you have not yet done so, please subscribe to our channel, Cosmic Wisdom. We have so many more mysteries to unravel and kingdoms to explore together in the weeks and months to come. You can tap or click on one of the videos or playlists that you see on your screen right now to continue your own personal journey into the limitless, sun-drenched potential of the Leo spirit. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your courage, your warmth, and your willingness to do this sacred and important work. It is a true honor to share this space with you. I wish you an abundance of joy, radiance, and unwavering sovereign power. Remember, you are never, ever alone. The entire universe is your adoring audience. Let us begin this transformative journey together, shall we? There is a unique and often silent sorrow that only a true Leo soul can fully comprehend. It is not the dramatic agony of a public failure, though you have faced that with courage. No, this is a quieter, more pervasive exhaustion. It is the deep weariness of the spirit that comes from spending a lifetime on a stage, your every move illuminated, your every word amplified, yet feeling profoundly unseen for who you truly are. It is the ache of having your boundless generosity mistaken for a calculated performance, your natural confidence seen as arrogance, your joy as a demand for attention, and your deep, unwavering loyalty as a play for control. Have you ever felt it? That heart-wrenching moment in a room full of people you love, people you have poured your light into, where you feel like the main act in a play that no one is actually watching. You are there. Your presence is a sunbeam, impossible to ignore, but they don't truly see you. They see the character they have written for you. They see the Leo of popular myth, the proud, the dramatic, the attention-seeking monarch. They speak of your grand gestures when you leave the room, not with true malice perhaps, but with a mixture of awe and cynical suspicion, utterly unable to fathom the vast, warm, and deeply benevolent universe that beats within your chest. And so, what did you do? You learned to perfect the performance. You built a fortress, not of stone walls and silence like some, but of a brighter smile, a louder laugh, a more dazzling show. You learned to filter your vulnerability, to measure out your heart in palatable doses, and to share only the most polished, entertaining version of your true self. Because you learned often through painful experience that the full, unfiltered incandescence of your soul could be too much for those who lived in the cooler, dimmer shadows of life. You learned that your sunlight could make others feel insecure about their own lack of light, and so you learned to wear sunglasses. But my glorious lion, do you have any idea what this constant performance has truly cost you? Do you understand that every time you swallowed a vulnerable truth, every time you put on a brave face when your heart was breaking, every time you dimmed your own light to make others feel more comfortable in your presence, you were slowly and quietly disconnecting from your own divine power source? You were looking to the audience for the light that has always been radiating from within you. The universe is orchestrating this magnificent shift not because you are weak, but precisely because you are one of the most powerful, creative, and life-giving souls in the entire zodiac. Your power is finally being summoned to serve its highest and most authentic purpose. You are being called to step off the stage, not to disappear, but to ascend to your throne. You are being liberated from the need for applause because your soul has endured the trial of being misunderstood for long enough. Your reign is about to truly begin. You see, Leo, your spirit is a reflection of the sun itself. Your purpose is to shine, to warm, to create, to inspire life. The judgments, the gossip, the projections of others, these are not random personal attacks. They are the clouds. They are the temporary eclipses that the universe is using to teach you a profound and vital lesson. The sun's existence and power are not dependent on who is looking at it. It shines regardless. It shines because that is its nature. And you, dear Leo, are here to learn to shine in the same way. You tried. Oh, how my heart aches for how you tried. You tried to be less bright, less magnificent, less you. You have walked on eggshells of your own design. You have turned your roar into a purr. You have chosen the dazzling smile over the righteous fiery truth burning in your heart, all to maintain a fragile peace with people who were never ever going to be able to meet you in your own sun-drenched kingdom. In the grand tapestry of mythology, the sun god is often the most generous, yet the most misunderstood. He gives life to all, yet mortals are often blinded by his light, or they take his warmth for granted. And you, Leo, are a vessel for that solar truth. You see the potential for joy, for celebration, for greatness in everyone. And when you try to illuminate that potential for them, it often sends terrifying ripples through those who are clinging to their own comfortable darkness. So they label you. They call you a bit much. They whisper that you always have to be the center of attention. But God, the universe, the great creative intelligence, whatever name you give to the divine force that animates all of existence, did not create you to be just enough. You were created to be a force of nature, a catalyst for joy, a living testament to the power of authentic, unapologetic self-expression. It is time to stop living as a filtered version of yourself. It is time to stop apologizing for the space you take up, for the light you radiate.